What's up, Taiwan? I'm Louise with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's foreign minister has met the Czech Senate Speaker in the latest push to deepen ties with Eastern Europe. Joseph Wu is in the Czech capital Prague, where he held talks with Miloš Vrščík, who has been at the forefront of Czech efforts to engage Taiwan. Beijing has slammed Wu's trip and urged European leaders not to have any formal exchanges with Taipei. China claims Taiwan as part of its territory and has increased efforts to isolate it internationally. But countries in Central and Eastern Europe have been keen to show support for Taiwan following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. NATO says it will deepen cooperation with 4 countries in the Indo-Pacific region. That's according to a report from a Japanese news outlet. Nikkei Asia says Australia, Japan, New Zealand and South Korea will make up NATO's AP4 or Asia-Pacific partners. The Brussels-based security bloc hopes the group will cooperate more to counter China's military presence in the region. It's part of a larger push for NATO to be more involved in Asia. It recently revealed plans to open an office in Japan. For more on this, our reporter Jaime Ocon spoke to Liu Fuguo from the Taiwan Center for Security Studies, based in Taipei.
Why does NATO want to get involved in Asia?
When European countries see China is now closely connected with Russia, which now posing a tremendous security threat to Ukraine as well as a European security. So putting all the elements together, Western country, especially led by the United States, European country, are now considering if they don't do anything systematically to push China or stop China. And lately, as we can see, many European countries have already expressed their security concern and their worry whether China would be launching any military attack against Taiwan in the next few years during the 3rd terms of President Xi Jinping.
Some say that NATO's involvement in Asia sends a wrong signal to China. Does it?
If NATO is decided to move forward with this idea to connect with 4 Indo-Pacific countries, as well as setting the office in Tokyo, it would have to go to unanimous agreement inside NATO members. So currently, France expressed its disagreement to this proposal. So basically, European countries are now in such a intensive negotiation with France. But of course, just looking back, when President Macron visited China early this year, and he had a very good conversation with President Xi Jinping, and he came back with different opinions. So France's position is very clear. Anything related to China, Europe should not really mess up with China, should not really anger China for the longer term of collaboration.
That was Liu Fuguo, director of the Taiwan Center for Security Studies, speaking with reporter Jaime Ocon. Former US President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to criminal charges that he mishandled classified documents. It comes as Trump, the frontrunner to be the Republican Party's 2024 presidential nominee, starts revving up his campaign. Shupam Pal has more.
Arriving at a court in Miami to face 37 criminal charges, Donald Trump is the leading candidate for the Republican Party's nomination for the 2024 presidential elections. He is also making history as the first past or current US president to be federally indicted. Prosecutors say Trump took and refused to return sensitive documents after he left office in 2021. They say many of those files were stored haphazardly at his home in Florida. Prosecutors say Trump even showed highly classified information to aides and guests. Some legal experts have hailed the decision to indict the former president.
In my view, this is a victory for the rule of law. It's a step towards accountability. if the average rank and file citizen had done any of the things that are detailed in this very careful, very thorough federal indictment, they would not see the light of day.
In a 13th floor courtroom, Trump sat silently through the nearly hour-long arraignment. Through his lawyer, he pleaded not guilty to all charges. Outside, protesters both for and against Trump gathered. The scene was mostly peaceful, but one demonstrator was arrested amid a loud standoff. Trump left at the end of the hearing with no restrictions on travel to meet supporters at a nearby restaurant where he blamed the Biden administration for his legal troubles.
We have a rigged country, we have a country that's corrupt, we have a country that's got no borders, we have a country that's got nothing but problems. We're a nation in decline, and then they do this stuff.
Later, Trump flew to New Jersey, where he called the charges fake and fabricated. He also said he had every right to hold on to the documents. The next trial date has not yet been set, but the case looks set to become a long legal battle, something that could complicate Trump's bid to retake the White House next year. Devin Sai and Shubhampal for TaiwanPlus.
Japan has announced a new plan to halt its plunging birth rate.
若年人口が急減する2030年代に入るまでが少子化傾向を反転できるかどうかのラストチャンスです。
Japan has tried to fix the problem for decades as empty schools and an aging population threaten its economy. Prime Minister Kishida now wants to give bigger payouts to people starting families. He plans to double childcare spending in the early 2030s from the current $33 billion US. The fertility rate, or the average number of children born to a woman in her lifetime, fell to 1.26 in Japan last year, a record low for the country. Taiwan's rate is even lower. Here, women have fewer than one child on average. A US House committee has unanimously approved a bill supporting a trade agreement with Taiwan. The bipartisan bill will cut some red tape in economic exchanges, but will not reduce tariffs. Representatives from the two democracies signed the deal last week, but the legislation requires any new agreements to be made in consultation with Congress to make sure they're in the interests of US workers and consumers. The bill still needs to be approved by the Senate before being sent to US President Joe Biden. Taiwan opened its largest international food and drink trade show on Wednesday. Around 1,500 companies from more than 30 countries are exhibiting at Food Taipei, an annual 4-day festival. This year's themes are the future of food and sustainability. One of the event's largest pavilions is showcasing food and drink from Taiwan's official diplomatic allies in Central America. The ambassador from Guatemala spoke to TaiwanPlus at the trade show.
The importance of coming to an event like this is to promote our country and to promote our products, especially. As I already mentioned the products, but also to strengthen the relationship between the Republic of China and Taiwan and with the other friends of Taiwan.
With Taiwan's general election just months away, the ruling Democratic Progressive Party is meeting to confirm 3 new legislative candidates. But the news has been overshadowed by another nominee's decision to drop out amid a sexual harassment scandal. Lin Fei-fan has been accused of failing to address an alleged case of sexual assault while he served as the party's Deputy Secretary General. A party inquiry has found that Lin was not to blame, but on Tuesday he said he takes responsibility and is ending his campaign so the case doesn't get in the way of reform.
我希望我的退选能够让这场性平运动不再受到其他政治口水攻防的干扰，也希望整个社会能够聚焦在未来的制度改革，以及我们如何能够达成一个更平权、更互相尊重的社会。
Taiwan's fourth wave of COVID-19 has hit a peak. But as Bing Wang now reports, the government is buying more vaccine shots to tackle a new strain.
Taiwan is facing a fourth wave of COVID, with around 250 serious cases a day, all put down to the new XBB strain. In the past week, 35 people a day were dying from the virus, a record high for this year. But the Centers for Disease Control, or CDC, says the new surge has hit a plateau and they expect to see case numbers decline in a week or two. Major pharmaceutical companies are working on new vaccines that target the XBB strain, and when they're ready, Taiwan is planning to import those vaccines.
莫德纳的这个合约里头本来就有包含，就是说如果它有更新它的这个疫苗株的部分，我们就是可以来这个等于说订购这个最新型的这个新冠的疫苗。
The Moderna shots should arrive in Taiwan by the end of the year. CDC says Taiwan still ranks near the bottom globally for the number of deaths by COVID, with an average of just 80 per 100,000.
诚恳来面对整个疫情后的一些检讨。不过，如果说我们台湾是属于疫情防疫失败的话，我想国际上是不见得会这样认同的。
While the fourth wave of COVID in Taiwan has reached its peak, officials can't rule out a fifth wave. So despite the expected decline in cases, health authorities here are reminding the public to remain vigilant. Klein Wang and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
One school in Taiwan is swapping graduation gowns for scuba gear. Elementary students on Green Island are going diving to get their diplomas. But it's not just for fun. It's a way to teach kids about the ocean. TaiwanPlus sent a team to witness this special event.
Swimming with the fishes. These kids aren't getting scuba training. These young divers are actually here for their graduation ceremony. This is how Gongguan Primary School on Green Island hands out diplomas. The school held its first underwater graduation event in 2014, and since then, the scuba ceremony has become tradition. The events were suspended for 2 years because of COVID, but this year, 7 graduates got to take on the ceremonial challenge.
因为大家要下去潜水呀，所以很紧张，很开心，因为要毕业了。
About 30 kilometers off Taiwan's southeast coast, Green Island is one of the most famous diving spots in the country. The school by the sea takes advantage of its location and works to help students become familiar with the surrounding ocean from an early age.
我们的孩子从幼儿园开始就开始学习游泳，那1、2年级就会体验浮潜。 3、4年级会练习独木舟，5、6年级就会开始水肺潜水。
On the big day, each student is led into the water by their trainer, where they're handed their diploma by the school's principal. Dozens of parents and teachers geared up to witness the moment too. As part of the celebration, the graduation group also takes a visit to one of Green Island's famous diving spots, the Seahorse Mailbox, located about 60 meters off the island's coast. It's the deepest functioning underwater mailbox in the world. Surrounded by fish, the children send waterproof postcards addressed to themselves in the future.
梦想是当一名潜水教练，是因为我爸是潜水教练，所以我想要跟我爸一样。
Dreaming big is not the only lesson the school wants its students to learn. These ceremonies are also about helping them build self-confidence that comes with taking on an impressive challenge.
我们完成了这次的一个勇敢的挑战，他们都会成为更有能量、更有勇气的生命。
The school's unique 6-year maritime education is designed to help students understand and respect the ocean. Teachers hope that the ocean will stay with the children, no matter how far away their lives take them. Asnaya Zhou, Pichi Zhuang, and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
More fun than my graduation ceremony anyway. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. I'm Louise Watt. Take care, and we'll see you next time.